Right, so this piece of clay is around 8 pounds and 10 ounces. And if you consider this is a large amount of clay, as you can see that when I'm centering, for the large amount of clay, I don't try to squeeze the whole clay in the, and color it sky high and then push it. So you need to have a lot of effort try to push a larger amount of clay. So what I did is I tried to just focus on the outer part of the clay and let the inside spin. So just peel up the skin of the clay and then move the clay. So it's just a small amount of clay. That way you will save a lot of effort trying to sand the clay. So even you have like tiny 15 pound, 80 pound, 18 pound and 20 pounds, with the same thing that it just kind of peel up the outer part of the clay. So it will save you a lot of effort try to sand a large amount of clay. Right, so after center, I'm using my right thumb to do the initial drilling. And after that, put a little bit of water in the middle, water and slip in the middle of the hole that I just opened. And then I use my both fingertips, drill, and then when I'm drilling it in, kind of leverage it, so it will save you a little bit of effort to try to drill the large amount of clay. And in the meantime, the thumb is hanging outside to kind of compressing the wall while I'm drilling it. That way you don't lose your sander when you are drilling it. The clay is still under control, under the compressing. And take it all the way down to the, I would say about between 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch thick for the base. In the meantime, I try to grab the slip from the bed and put it back to work. Right now I reach to the right thickness, and then I will try to flatten the base and move my finger outward so the base is flat and a little bit wider. When it's wider, it's easy for my fingertip to reach inside and then do multiple compressing. Okay, so after that, I am coloring the clay back to narrower. When I open, I widen it a little bit so it's easy for my finger to reach inside and compress the base. But when I'm pulling it higher, taller, the narrow cylinder is easier to handle. So I am color the clay back in. Remove the slip of my fingertips, and I'm going to put it inside. Instead of using water, usually if you use water go into on the inside and create a puddle. And if the water sitting inside for a long time, it's weakening the base. right? And I could keep on color the clay in so the base is even smaller using my right fingertip. The wheel spin in this direction, so I am using my right fingertips to bring these two fingertips to bring the clay toward the center, and then slowly squeeze it up and put my thumb here to compress the rim, or we can do this, compress the rim. And again, remove the slip of the fingertips and then coat it back on the inside. And for outside, just a little bit of water, touch up on the surface. That's all you need. So you will not have lots of water deposit on your splash pan because you are using the water efficiently. So now the wall is kind of fairly thick, so I am going to use my outside hand like this as a wall to support it, and the inside fingers do the lifting. I feel dry, so I keep it a little bit of a touch up of water before I continue to move up. The same thing here, if you feel the surface a little bit dry. Now remove the slip and then put it back on the inside of the wall. And outside, just touch up of a little bit of water. Keep my cylinder a bit narrow. Alright, so now I'm going to change my position. Use my thumb method to pull. So the thumb tuck the elbow to my body, and then use the thumb and this corner here, and the inside hand is right here. Grab the clay and move it up. Tuck my elbow is to find the stability of my fingertips. So always, if you are throwing, make sure that your hand is very stable. So tuck my elbow to my body and leave my body a little bit sideways. Okay. And the inside hand is pushing it out, and put the corner, okay, the thumb, a little bit underneath. That way you can pull it up more efficient. And put my thumb, you can see the thumb is sitting underneath of my inside finger. And just move up slowly but very consistent. And up to here, this point, I can change my position because my elbow, my fingertip is kind of awkward here. So change my position. Put the slip back to work. And here, take care of that by changing my position, just lifting using my left thumb and the finger to move so that the rim is a little bit lighter. And then regroup the cylinder. This part here is a little bit white, so I'm going to color to make it straight. Before that, I would try to lubricate the surface. A little bit of water. Color in. Keep it straight. Okay, usually the corner here you got lots of clay, so it could also dig in to utilize all the clay in the on the corner. Slippery, and reach inside and grab. See that I'm grabbing the clay from the bottom, and then slowly move up and coat it on the inside of the wall. Okay. So I make it slippery on the outside. Grab the clay, grab the slip that I tossed in, and slowly coat it. Okay, so this when you see when I'm throwing, always apply the three S's. Speed, okay, speed up the wheel, speed up your hand moving, speed. Slippery, okay, water, use a slip, water, make it slippery, speed, slippery, and support, okay. Try to find anywhere that is supporting your hand, so your hand is with your arm, your hand is stable. Speed, slippery, support, okay, or stability support. So when you see when I'm stand up and try to pour, still my hands resting on my laps and my body, and then slowly move it up. And if you can hear the sound that the wheels, it's speeding up when I'm trying to color. Okay, and I'm going to coat the sodium silicate on the surface and then stretch it. But before I do that, I like to make sure the surface is smooth. So I'm using my metal rib to smooth the surface further, and maybe slightly push out from the inside. So I'm going to brush the sodium silicate over and then stretch it. And usually when you pour, you won't be able to pour the clay, especially on the bottom here, you might still have a little bit thicker clay. And I am going to use a trimming tool to slightly remove the clay here on the bottom. So this part will be a little bit thinner. It's a wet trim. Right, and before I brush the sodium silicate, I like to put some horizontal texture over, and when you stretch it, you will see that the texture. And people ask me, what is this? This is the promotion texture scraper. It's from the Park Machine company, Peter Parker, and they send it for free. And I think this texture is very useful. So if you can get it, that would be good for getting the texture. So there's some clay coming off. You can use a sponge to remove it before you brush the sodium silicate over. I'm leaving about 1.5 inches, maybe a 2 inch without brush, without adding any texture, and brush the sodium silicate. Because later on I might want to close it, so that part I usually don't add any sodium silicate. brush the sodium silicate, I can no longer touch the outside. So I'm going to just stretch from the inside and make sure I move my hand slowly but very steady. And also I want to lubricate it on the inside too. Alright, so this concludes my demonstration on pour it taller and brush, put the texture brush the put the texture over, and then brush the sodium silicate and dry a tiny little bit and then stretch, so you can see it's a lot of texture going on here. And then before I close it, I get my finger inside to push all the bump here and a little bit of a decoration, and then pull out the little nut here. Okay. Hope this demonstration help to make a larger piece, and I will see you soon, right?